Hi students, I'm here to explain about the experiment number 1 silt test. The main objective of the experiment is to determine the content percentage of clay and silt in the sand. The main reason for conducting this experiment is you need to know the percentage of clay in the given sample of sand. Okay, the basic concept of the experiment is that I have already explained you in the lab with the example of stone and a cotton. If you drop a stone and cotton into the water, which one goes fast? As you all answered, the stone goes fast because of the heavy weight. The same concept works here. The heavy particle will settle down fast in the water and the lighter particle settles slowly. As sand is being more denser than the clay, sand settles down first and then silt will settle later. According to British Standard, BS means according to British Standard 882/1965, you can see here it is useful to write this one while writing conclusion. According to British Standard 882/1965, the clay and silt content should not be more than 15% of the total weight for crushed sand. In the lab we are generally using this crushed sand itself. So here we have some apparatus, materials and the procedure which will be explained to you in the practical. Once I go back to the lab, I will make another video to show you the equipment or the apparatus and the materials and the procedure how to do this. Okay, and before that I just want to explain you about observations and calculation. See, height of the sand, whatever the lay, if you have observed the different layers, first layer sand and clay and then water, the layer height of the sand, you write it here, you can use the ml, and height of clay and silt here. Once you got these two values, h clay, height of clay means this one, height of sand is this one. Use these two values and put it in this formula to find out the percentage content of clay in the sand. So here I have given you some lab template. You need to write, before you submit it on the Moodle, you need to write apparatus here, you need to write the material used, you need to write some procedure. I will explain you how to write the procedure. This is very important for you, how to write the procedure and how to write the conclusion. Okay, let me open another file. See, as I explained you, when you are writing procedure, it should be in the past tense. Do not use I or we. It should be like a statement. For example, I will tell you, to this sentence, if you want to write as a procedure that you have done, you can change the write-up, you can paraphrase it. See, it is telling you that to prepare saline solution. If you write it in the same way, when I am reading it while marking, it is like you are asking me to do the procedure. So you can write in such a way that to prepare saline solution, 250 ml of water and 2.5 grams of salt has been used. One way. Another way, 2.5 grams of salt and 2.5 grams of salt and 250 ml of water was used to prepare saline solution. In this way you can write in different type, however, like you can add different types of things. See, if you want to write 0.4 as the procedure which I am telling you, we'll see how can we write it. Then add saline solution. When it is in the manual, we are instructing you or to write down to do the procedure in the lab. So you can write, see, then saline solution has been added into the same cylinder until the total volume in the measuring cylinder reach to 150 ml level. So the main concept is it has to be in the past tense. That is very important here. And while coming to conclusion, this is very important conclusion. You can see in the lab template we ask you to write the procedure and the discussion. You can search in internet and find out some probable answer. And conclusion, whenever I ask you to write conclusion, it should be a comparison between result and standard. Here the standard is already I explained you. According to BS 882 1965, you can see this. What is the standard here? The standard is never changed. The clay and silt content should not be more than 15% of the total weight of the crushed sand. The percent content of clay and silt should not be more than 15% of the total weight of the crushed sand. This is the standard. First write this, but from the experiment it was observed that the content percent of clay and silt in the given sample of sand as 23%, which is more than the standard limit, which is more than the standard limit. Which is more than the standard limit. Therefore, the given sample of sand is not recommended to use for construction or concrete works. This is what I am expecting from you, to have a comparison between the standard of the experiment and the result you have obtained from the experiment. If you just correlate these two things, you have done with your conclusion. So this is the way how to write the conclusion. And discussion, what will happen to the strength of the concrete. The strength of the concrete, you can search what happens if the clay and silt occur in the sand, what happens to the strength of the concrete. Please don't search in the answers.com. The answer given in the answer.com is not related to this, and so many people are copying directly the answer from that. So please avoid that and try to find somewhere. You can ask your seniors, you can ask some faculty, or search in the internet or journals, etc. References, you can write British Standard 882 1965 as a reference, and if you find from where you find the answer for this, you write it as a reference. And please remember and note it down, the references should be written in a Harvard style.